All right, welcome to another episode of Planty Face. Today I am going to be, okay, wait, before I do that, I'm going to do this first. Today I'm going to be repotting the Peeenis. I'm going to call this cactus Richard the Peeenis. Peeenis Dick the Peeenis cactus. I got this from a collection from Coromandel Cacti again. That's a very renowned and well-known seller here in New Zealand, in Auckland. And this is an old plant. It was listed for 40 bucks, 50% off, and I couldn't resist. 20 bucks, I like, take my money, okay? So you can see it's a very mature Peeenis plant. They call it the Peeenis cactus, sorry, because it looks like a penis, okay? The Peeenis. And it has a very, very sharp spine. So what I actually did, in the advice of the shop, was cut all of the thorns underneath so I can handle it. You can see new, like relatively new, young growth. So hopefully this spring, which is coming up, I'll start getting some new growth at the top here and it'll start getting bigger. But before I do that, I have to repot it with fresh soil. I'm going to give it a rinse. And look, it's a pretty mature plant. I'm not going to coddle it. I've been told that I coddle my cactuses too much. Probably true. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to first mix my soil. Okay. Cactus mix. Okay. Potting mix. Cactus potting mix. Lots of pumice and a good amount of Osmo Coat. Okay. Osmo Coat. I'm a big fan of Osmo Coat. From all my research, people say Osmo Coat's really good because when you buy your cacti potting mix, it does have some slow release fertilizer, but the slow release fertilizer is not as slow release as Osmo Coat. Osmo Coat really is the true OG of slow release technology. So I like Osmo Coat, and I'm not sponsored in any shape or form. I just like it. I got this pot for this forever home, not forever home, but for quite a while. Not a huge amount bigger than this pot, but I'm more refreshing the soil as opposed to enlarging the pot as well, because a lot of the roots will come off here. It's old, it will come off. What I'm going to do actually is I'm going to wet the soil and then I'm going to take it out so it's softer. I've already watered it, but I'm going to clean it up, so a lot of rubbish is going to fall onto here. But let's first establish a drain. Actually, don't need that, doesn't matter, it's already well drained. There. Let's establish a base. Now let's see what comes out of here and what we can clean up. So, oh shit, wow. Really is quite fixed in there, isn't it? I don't even know how to get it out of there. There, okay. I think that loosens it up a bit. Oh, look at that. Okay, so look, that's a very root bound. It's a very root bound cac. Okay, very healthy roots though. Very healthy roots. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get a fork and just help scrape some of that shit off. Let's scrape some of that shit off. Actually, it might be a bad idea to do it on this table. It's, you know what, let me look. I'm going to do it here so any of the but this is a very, very well-rooted plant. I mean, I don't really know what to do here, but you can see his root bound to hell. So you probably want to disturb some of these roots to really some new growth. I mean, this is, wow, look at that. Very, generally speaking, very healthy roots, very strong roots. I don't want to screw with that too much. Okay, so I'm going to leave it at that. And I'm going to give it a good rinse, okay? I was told give it a good rinse in case there's any pests. Just give it a good rinse. So, yeah. Look, that's a good amount of soil off there, but I'm going to give it a good rinse. Let's see what happens, yeah? Let's see what happens. So I've given the cactus a good rinse. I didn't take all of the soil out. I don't think there's a reason to do that, but you can tell there's a very healthy root mass there. I don't want to take all the roots out just for fun, for no reason at all. So with the shaking and the what's that word? With the cleaning up of it, a lot of the roots were damaged, but that's okay. Yeah, look, I mean, I don't know if I should clean it up or not. But I don't want to damage it too much. That's the main thing. But then, you know, it's pretty, I don't know, what should I do? I don't think I should do that for no reason at all. But I think I might trim some of the roots to really stimulate growth. So what I'm going to do is I'll be back. I'm going to clean it up a bit more and I'll trim up the roots and we'll start again relatively clean. Okay, so I trimmed the bejesus, sorry, I washed the bejesus out of the root system. A lot of dry soil, a lot of really crap soil left in there. So what I'm going to do is, I haven't really encountered a cactus this large before, but looking online, they always say, look, when you trim the roots, you end up getting much better growth because the plant goes into a growth mode and it wants to grow again. So I'm going to trim some of the roots and really give it a good haircut. It's got a very, very robust, root system. So I think it will hold. Also, you can see here, it's got like a stem. I'm going to try and raise it up a little bit. And I'm going to try and raise it up a little bit to expose some of that trunk. So it actually looks quite nice. I don't want to bury it too much, but obviously over time it was obviously buried. And you know, that's just what happens, right? Like that grows and you can lift it up. So let's see what happens. Let's just put there. And great call by the cactus shop, what I call the cactus ladies. Great call on trimming the thorns, because I can't do that, because otherwise it will be impossible to work with. So because I've taken a lot of the mass and the soil out, I'm going to have to fill this a lot before I even get near it. There's going to be a lot of shaking. There's going to be a lot of turbulence to try and fill those root gaps. All right, I'm going to fill those root gaps. Let me just make sure that you can see this proper. Yeah. Okay, so really it's not much of a, I need to have a point where I can grab it like this. Okay, so a lot more to fill. Very challenging handling a cactus this big. I actually have a massive 30 centimeter gymno, and I'll be honest, I'm a little scared of it. I don't know how to handle it. It's massive, and the thorns are beastly thorns. So yeah, so look, okay, so there you go. Gotta make sure I grab some points where I can. So I'm going to need more soil. I underestimated the amount of soil needed. What I've actually done is I've made the top more finer leaves. I'm going to raise this a bit, so actually a bit of a challenge trying to get the height right. There. So the perspective when I put this display is actually going to be like this, right? So need to make sure that it looks good from that angle. So don't want to compact it too much, but you do want to make sure that it does stay stable. So and pretty much now the soil is 100% new, so that's Well, it'll be interesting. The soil is 100% new soil. It's, yeah, there you go. So that's a perspective that we want. Some of the roots have come up at the top here, but that's okay. There's a lot of roots in the bottom, so it's all good. There you go. So we now have the basics. My father-in-law made me this, really handy for precise stone placement. I don't want to have any soil against the trunk, just for, I don't know, is it more of an aesthetic thing, a placebo thing for me? Maybe, but doesn't matter. I just don't want it. To me, top dressing is very, very important. Also because it stops soil erosion when you water. And as far as I've noticed, cactuses love water. They just don't like staying wet and moist and cold, but they love water. So, you know, like people water them so shallow. No, water these fuckers deep. They like deep watering. They like a lot of water. They just don't like it all the time. But when you're watering it, you should water it so deep that it just drips in the bottom for 3 to 5 minutes afterwards. Okay, no, it should be running faster than that. But just water it deep, water it thoroughly. You know, like that whole myth of, oh yeah, you know, cactuses just take a little bit of water. Like, yes, they can survive with a little bit of water. But if you want them to thrive, man, like you just water them good. But wait until the soil dries completely, or very, very dry in the top layers, and then water them again deep. Don't, there we go. Just want to make sure that it's breathable underneath everything. Nothing is, look at that. Ow. I can feel that I got stung by this. Can feel it, despite me cutting the crap out of it. Like so. There you go. There you go. Look at that. That's a perspective that I'm looking at. The roots are about to heal. You got perfectly. This will last here 2, 3, 4, 5 years. This will be its home for a very, very long time. I don't want to be touching this for a while. There you go. And there we have it, the Peeenis cactus. Yeah, how you like them apples and Peeenis?